Hello everyone, Sawadee all the people watching this video. Today I have a very special guest with me. She is a pageant veteran and she has previously competed at Miss International and Miss Supranational 2018. And now she's competing for the title of Miss Intercontinental UK 2021.
Hello everyone, I'm Romy Simpkins. I'm 27 years old and I'm representing Bournemouth in the Miss Intercontinental UK virtual grand final.
You said Bournemouth, right? Can we do with the UK? Is that possible? Like an
Oh,
international
yeah,
package. Are you ready?
yeah,
Hands up,
I can do
everything.
that. I can definitely do that. Okay, Romy Simpkins, 27, United Kingdom.
Well, that was so much better. You're experienced, right? Like you're competing a lot of pageants, I can tell. You have done that
Yeah,
before.
just a
Just a
few.
few. I want to take you back into your childhood. So where did you grow up and how was your childhood?
We come from a beautiful seaside town of Bournemouth. It's in the south of England. I literally live 5 minutes from 7 miles of beautiful sandy beaches. So I'm very fortunate to live here. I've lived here my whole life. It's got everything I need here. It is a tourist destination, but really the fresh air and the sea air particularly is just so wonderful. And I was also saying there's the countryside as well. There's so much green around here and I just love going there and walking my dog. So yeah, I'm really fortunate that I live in such a beautiful area.
And what about your childhood? So you said you grew up in Bournemouth. So how were you as a child?
I actually went to a prestigious performing arts school in a place called Hertfordshire. So I was technically a boarding student. So I do Monday to Saturdays there, stay overnight. I had my own dorm, and then I would come home at the weekends. I was there for a couple of years, and what the school was very special because it wasn't like a typical school where you did all academics. The majority of the day was doing, I was most of the time in leotards with my hair scraped up in a bun, and doing, whether it was singing, dancing, acting, and then we had some academics because the intentions were at the end of your years there, directors of large performing arts schools come and watch your final show and they would audition you for places like Mount View, RADA, Royal Shakespeare Company, all those kind of. My original dream as a child was to go to the Royal Shakespeare Academy, and because I love Shakespeare.
That's great. So since you said you like to sing, you like to act, is it possible that we can hear your beautiful singing voice?
I can recite some Shakespeare to you.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, a bit dramatic, isn't it? So it goes, Amy, for pity, what a dream was here. Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Me heart a serpent ate my heart away, and you sat smiling at its cruel prey. Lysander, cut. That'll do. It's normally a lot more dramatic when you're on a stage.
I have been to the London, the stadium where they did Shakespeare in high school, and it was such an amazing experience. So I can definitely see why you like acting.
After that, I actually decided to go into studying something that I really was passionate about, and that was about early years and development, meaning childcare. I believe that obviously the children are our future, and in order for them to grow and develop mentally and positive and go out through life, adulthood, they need to have the best start in life. So that's why I studied in childcare. And after doing many years of working in private settings, and I was actually a nanny in Australia, I decided to then go into learning more about the theory side of, I guess, how our brains work, and that actually led me in towards studying to become a counsellor, which some places they refer to that as a therapist, so that's what I'm doing now.
As a counsellor, what advice would you like to give to people who are currently going through depressions or anxieties, especially during the lockdown period?
You're allowed to have feelings. You're human, you're not a robot, and whether that's experiencing depression, anxiety, low mood, whatever it is, you have a right to feel like that, because especially during this pandemic, all of our we've had loads of rules put in place, we've felt like we've been controlled, our use of structure and routine has gone out the window, whether that's going to work, going to your studies, seeing your friends and family. And that obviously is going to have an impact on your overall well-being. I think what's important is to really stay in tune with who you are, listen to yourself. It's okay to feel, those emotions. I always say to my clients, feel the feels. And I think once you start to be able to accept them, you can then start to find ways of actually coping with them better. And that's what I do with my kind of work. I help clients to find smart goals in overcoming these feelings, or calming them down so they can continue life without these emotions being too much for them, if that makes sense.
Oh, that was a really lovely message that you just gave. And so let's talk about beauty pageants now, because I have seen, just looking at your resume, you have competed in many beauty pageants. So can you please talk about your pageant journey?
I started my pageant journey when I just turned 18. I entered Miss Universe Great Britain. I didn't quite know at the time that it was, a pretty big pageant. So I didn't quite know what to expect until I got there and I was going, okay, this is quite a big one. So with that, I actually entered a regional heat into the Miss England final, where I represented Dorset, where I'm from. And then after that, I actually got selected to go and represent the United Kingdom in a pageant called Miss Global International. I placed in top 10 there, and I was, it was amazing. I went to Trinidad, Tobago, and I've still got friends from that place that are fully supportive of my pageant journey to do the UK Power Pageant, which at the time, it was like 4 pageants in one. So there was Miss International UK, Miss Grand England, Scotland and Wales, Miss Intercontinental England, Scotland and Wales. My head was fully in that motion, and I was up against some incredible ladies, ones that have also competed big time. So I was trying to not I was confident silently, but at the same time I was like, well, this is a competition, you don't know what's going to happen, and in the end I managed to bag myself the title for Miss International UK. Dream. I was literally like crying. You should have seen my face on the night. So yeah, I had that obviously for a year of reign. My incredible director at the time wanted to elect me to be Miss Supranational England, and well, I wasn't going to say no, because I was very blessed that they would even consider me for that. So later in the same year, I then went on in 2018, represented, like I said, England in Poland, and I loved every minute of that pageant. It was insane.
Like I said, you have a lot of experience, and I'm sure this is going to be have you ever done a virtual pageant, like an online pageant? So this is the first time.
First time, yes. And obviously I've got to make sure that I'm prepared with this Zoom stuff and everything like that, but I've been pretty prepared actually. We have to submit our evening wear walk and a video for our swimwear and some photos as well, and I've already done them. I actually did them this week, so I'm really happy with those, and they'll get submitted, and then the judges will obviously score them, and then we'll have our one-to-one, well, I say one-to-one, but our virtual interview.
Preliminary interview, like for another preliminary interview, so hopefully this is helping you.
Yeah, no, it's really helpful, because it does feel like that kind of, being asked questions, how it's going to look to you, how you're going to be looking on the screen. So yeah, I think it's all very beneficial. So I'm trying to up the ante.
So you said you like competing in beauty pageants. So what motivated you to join beauty pageants?
What motivated me was that I could be myself in pageantry, but I can be my 110% version of myself. Like I can present whatever I want to present. I don't have to fake anything. What you see is what you get. So I like to think I'm authentic. When I've done other things on stage or on social media, it's an act. If you're performing, it's that. When I actually like being who I am. I like showing what I'm about, and what I have to offer. So that's what I believe that helps me fully immerse myself in pageantry. For me, I think it's a huge part of my life. I'd actually love to write a book about how I feel like pageants saved me, because, going from a teenager that was very pressured with all this performing arts background and vice versa, I doubted myself, but I have never doubted myself in pageantry.
That's amazing answer. Do you know the UK, which once used to be like a hub for beauty pageants, like Miss World? It started in the UK, but unfortunately now the British public are not as much interested or not as much into beauty pageants as like they used to be back in the 1960s. So why do you think beauty pageants are still relevant today?
I think, just first of all, the reason why I think they've come away from it is because typically they were known as beauty pageants. So when we thought originally as beauty, we looked at the external appearance, when actually beauty pageants, yes, it's as important to be proud of who you are, take pride in your appearance. And I love that side of things. Who doesn't like feeling good in themselves? But actually, it's more to it. There's more about you internally, what you have to offer as a person, what you're really about, your substance, your passions, your platforms, your advocacies. And I think pageants have come a long way with that. So I think they allow women and men the opportunity to grow, to gain experiences, travel the world, and of course create memories, make friendships, and if you wish, form careers out of it, become business people. For me, I've been able to set up a swimwear business because of pageantry. Would I have thought about that before if I didn't do pageants? Probably not. So it actually allows lots of doors to be open, and I think people who are not familiar with pageants need to recognise what goes on behind the scenes rather than what they just appear to see. It's definitely changed nowadays. Yes, it's all glamorous and beautiful and it's lovely, but the people involved work so hard to get themselves out there, get themselves known, and I think that's very relevant.
As someone who has lived in the UK, I could not really see the same type of interest in beauty pageants as I see here in Thailand. In here, it's huge. We're talking about, I see people in the market selling beauty queen crowns, sash, versus Miss Universe, and all the other type of beauty pageant. And I can feel that love, right? Or the passion for beauty pageants here. So I definitely agree with you. I feel like the British public hopefully can get back the same amount of love or interest that it once used to be a huge part of the British culture.
Yes, no, definitely. I think our pageant community is obviously a lot smaller than like Thailand and other countries, but we're small and mighty, and I think we're getting there in terms of when we're reaching out to people for sponsorship opportunities or to take part in events or to campaign for certain causes. People are starting to hear about our work, and actually starting to accept and understand what pageantry is really about.
What message would you like to give to those people who unfortunately still have a negative perspective towards beauty pageant? What will you tell them?
I would just like to say that taking part in beauty pageants is a choice. There is no, you have to do this. And I'm a firm believer that everyone has a choice in life, depending what they decide to do, whether it's pageantry or something else. And I think the people that really do immerse themselves, like I said earlier, in pageantry, can really accept who they are as a person. And, I think that is one of the most amazing gifts that anyone could have, is to, be internally happy and proud of all their achievements, how they feel in themselves. And I would only want that for any other person. So I'd say before, in a world that is so judgmental, and yes, you would think pageants are judgmental, we are only really judging ourselves to improve ourselves, to better ourselves.
So you talked about beauty pageants being not only about the beauty outside, it's all a lot about doing, the inner work, as in like doing charity works and helping other people. So are you involved with any projects or advocacy at the moment? And if you are, please let us, our viewers, know about the amazing work you have been doing.
I work in the field of mental health, so that is a real passion of mine. I specialise with working with people with eating disorders, so that is a lot to do with body image and how to cope without using a behaviour. So a lot of my campaign work has been about well-being, overall well-being, kind of looking at different areas like staying active, being mindful, kind of reflection work, kind of looking at yourself and actually, instead of being critical, actually saying positive things about yourself, because I think we as people don't often do that. So that's one area that I have continued to work on throughout my time in pageantry. But something that I've been really focusing on raising awareness for, and I've recently signed up to do training to be an ambassador for a Women's Aid, which is a domestic abuse charity here, where I'm going to be helping people who are experiencing abuse of some sort. And my main advocacy is talking and discussing about the signs and what to maybe do if you're experiencing coercive control and narcissistic behaviour, because that type of abuse isn't as familiar as some of the others. They are all very, very important to be recognised and something to be done about that. But those particular ones, they're almost very silent, they're quite sneaky, or they can be just not noticed. So I'm going to be, soon posting my campaign called The Red Flags, where through pictures I'm going to be showing examples of maybe what could be seen as narcissistic behaviour, coercive control, some of those signs, and hopefully even if that just helps one person, I feel like I'm doing what's right, because I wouldn't want anyone to experience that or to think, no, that's okay and that's acceptable, when it's really not. No one should ever have to suffer with any form of abuse.
I feel like we're talking a lot of serious topic. I want to take you to a little bit more fun question, if you don't mind. So what do you like to do when you're not being such a responsible human being and doing such amazing charity works? What do you like to do on your free time? Any hobbies, anything like that?
I'm actually really spontaneous. So along with all like the business and the serious stuff, I'm one of those people that's like, if I want to do a skydive, okay, I'll sign up and do a skydive. So I did that once just out because I felt like it. And I've actually had a go at doing fencing. I don't know if you know the fencing with the helmet. And the helmet, sticks.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I did like a 6-week course on that. Because I do have a slight competitive streak, and with that hobby, that sport, they are very competitive. I've watched them on television, like in the Olympics. I'm like, wow, that is a bit of me. So I thought I'll give it a go. Not saying that was very good, but it was fun actually. So anything that I think, yeah, that's different, I'll probably be doing it.
Oh, that's amazing. You clearly seem to be adventurous. You said you did skydiving, right? That takes a lot of courage. Not everyone can do it. And even fencing, I believe you need really strong hands for it, because you're holding a sword, right? You're literally fencing with another human being. So, wow, that's incredible. I did not expect that from you.
Yeah, it is heavy. And the skydive, I think, because I just do it on a whim, like, go on then, this is going to be fun. It wasn't until I was in the plane and I was doing the highest jump. I think you can do 10,000. I did 15,000. So when they got to 10,000, people were just being basically chucked out of the airplane. I was like, what? And they were like, you've got another 5,000 to go. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm about to jump out of a plane. And I was like, didn't actually quite hit me until I was there. But once you're in the air, it is just the most surreal experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat, preferably probably something more in the summer when it's not so cold. I would actually love to do it in another country just to experience what it would be like. I know Dubai, they do it overlooking the palms and whatnot. That would be so beautiful to have that experience. So maybe that's my next goal to do.
Oh wow, that's incredible. I'm scared of heights. So when you said skydiving, I kind of got scared a little bit for you. Like I cannot imagine how was the experience, but it sounds like you had a really good time. That's amazing. You've competed in international pageants like Miss International, we're talking about Miss Supranational. These are big pageants, right? These are like best 5 pageants out there. So can you please share you a fun experience, a fun moment that you had while competing in a previous beauty pageant?
When I went to Miss International, just being on that stage, and I remember on the screen all our photos popped up, and I remember just looking up and going, wow, my face is there. I'm here, because that's all I dreamed of, was being on that stage. So I think that was probably the most treasured memory from that pageant. My favourite, I'd say, fun experience was at Miss Supranational. It's when we did a thing called a lip dub, which is where we have to do a video. I don't know if you saw it, but we had to do a video all in one take. And I don't know how long the video was. I don't know if it was like 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long, but without doing any takes in the middle is really hard. So everyone had to be, doing it right. And we did so many takes, it was hilarious. But I decided I was going to be the one, me being spontaneous and random, that I was going to be riding a bicycle through the hotel. So there's just like a bit of the video clip of me riding through, like with my legs out, like woo and stuff. I just thought that is so fun. You would not expect that at a pageant.
That's amazing. This was a one take, it was around like 5 minutes, if I'm not wrong. The video. Yeah. That's amazing. How long did it take to record that?
I know it was to Footloose, which I think by that I was like, yeah, I never want to hear this song again, because we did it so many times. And there were so many times when we heard someone go, stop, no, they did it wrong, re-go. And then we take my bike back to where I had to go and whatnot. But yeah, oh gosh, I want to say over like 20 times, we had to retake that. And obviously, and then getting all the camera back to where it was and knowing exactly where it's been, where it's going to direct and whatnot. Every part of it had to be just right. But yeah, it was definitely fun, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, if you have not seen it, guys, you have to watch it. It's Miss Supranational 2018. A lip dub. What did you say? Lip
dub. Yeah, you should be able to find it if you type that into YouTube. Yeah,
I've seen it and it's really amazing. I did think that it was edited, but you said it was one full take, so I'm quite amazed that I cannot imagine how long it takes, and seeing all the girls having super high energy. So why Miss Intercontinental? Because you have competed in many pageants already. So what made you decide to join Miss Intercontinental UK 2021?
I feel like Miss Intercontinental, with their ethos of the power of beauty, as a woman, to embrace who you are, be independent and be proud of that, and go on to do whatever you set your mind to. And I think that I'm very much like that. So I think it works quite nicely with what I represent anyway as a beauty queen. So I would hope that I'd be able to, fingers crossed, be able to represent my country and make that known.
Wow, that was a really good answer. Well done. Like, if this was a final question, I would definitely give you the crown.
Yay! Crown me now, I'm joking.
When is the finale happening of the national pageant, this national pageant?
So it's taking place on Saturday, the 22nd of May. So less than a month to go now. We've submitted all our videos, and then they're going to publish them for the public to see. Obviously, they would have been prejudged, and we would have had our interviews in the daytime. But it's just, do you know what? It's going to be quite nice because I can just sit back and relax and be like, let's watch the show. And I don't have to be in it. I can just watch it. But I've also put all that hard work in. So that's when the final's going to be.
You should definitely record your reaction to yourself watching the pageant. That would be amazing.
Yes, that would be so funny. A bit like an outtake, like, shocked face, or kind of like, okay, there we go. I've decided I'm going to have my food in front of me already, my dinner, and maybe, a little celebration kind of drink or a pudding on the side, just as a yay, or even still get the food. I'm happy. So
what message do you have for all the young girls who who are interested in joining beauty pageants, but they do not know anything about beauty pageants because they have never competed in one. So what message would you like to give to those girls?
There are so many pageants out there now, especially here in the UK. There's actually quite a lot, national systems and ones that also take you internationally. And do your research and don't be afraid to reach out to the directors or the main beauty queens, the title holders. We're here to support you. We've been there ourselves. We've worn the t-shirt. We're going through the motions with you, and we want to ensure that you have an amazing experience in pageantry, and hopefully one like I've had, a journey that will take you far. So I would say, reach out. Don't be afraid to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because you'll be surprised that how much, whether you do it virtually or a live final, how much of a buzz you'll get from being on that stage. And actually after your interview, it can be quite an emotional experience, but I think that's beautiful. So I would just say, do it. And, if it's not your thing, then that's okay. But if it is, and you get the bug, as we call it, then you do whatever you want to do within pageantry.
Great encouragement, because I always get DMs in my Instagram almost every day by young girls who are asking me tips and like, how should I do this and that, because they're interested but they have not really competed yet, so they don't know the ins and out of the beauty pageant. So what he said is definitely, I agree with you. You should definitely contact and reach out to beauty pageant queens and the community. They will definitely be there to help you out. What have you learned from your beauty pageant experience that you still implement to your daily life today? And how has beauty pageant changed your life?
I'm very confident now to be able to sit in front of people and talk about what I care about, because that's what I do in pageantry all the time. It helps you to find yourself and to encourage you to push yourself towards your goals. And I think the thing that I will value and take on board with me for the rest of my life, that I can literally accomplish anything as long as I have the ability and belief in myself to do it, then I will get there.
So as we are towards the end of the interview, I feel like you're very much qualified to be the next Miss Intercontinental UK. And when you win the crown, you have to agree to do a second interview with.
I will hold you to that. So fingers crossed, like we said before, let's all hope. I'm feeling confident, and I'm forever grateful for this opportunity that I've been able to be selected for this final, and I feel very ready.
So do you have any message that you'd like to give to your well-wishers and supporters? Please do now.
Huge thank you to the UK pageant community, alongside the rest of the world who has followed my journey throughout these many years of doing pageantry to finally this point. I really appreciate your support. It's meant everything to me, and I just want to say a huge shout out to my family, because they have been my everything. My mum, my dad, my brothers, and my partner. They have supported me through every single pageant that I've been through. They have guided me, and they have just been nothing but encouraging, and I'm so forever thankful for having them in my life. So thank you.
Can you please give your social media platform so our followers can find you on your social media?
Mine is super easy. It's just my name. So if you just type Romy Simpkins into the search bar, I'm going to actually spell my name out because it could be a bit tricky. So my first name is Romy, so Romy, and my surname Simpkins is Simpkins. So if you type that in, I'm sure you can always go on Google if you're a bit stuck with that. And all my kind of social media pages, my Instagram, my Facebook, will all be available for you to access. And again, thank you for your support.
I'll just put all in the description box of this video and on the screen, so you can find her in any social media platform. Thank you once again, Romy, for doing the interview with me. I had such a great time. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Thank you so much. It's really meant a lot to me to take part in this, and I've loved the chat.
Yes, and hopefully we can do another catch-up after your national pageant. So anyway, Romy, I'm going to say goodbye to you now. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You take care.
Yes, you have a great day. And thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Make sure to follow her on her social media platforms at Romy Simpkins, right? Am I saying correctly?
Simpkins, nearly there.
Yes, Simpkins. Make sure to follow her and support her on her journey towards Miss Intercontinental UK 2021.